So I'm back with another review. This time I'm going to be taking a look at another fragrance from Paco Rabanne. It's another new-ish release, and that one is 1,000,000 Prive. And unlike the last few fragrances I've reviewed, I actually like this one a whole lot, so that's a good thing. Again, I just have a sample of this one. Shout out to my friend Phil for sending me this. This is the last one of the 3 that he sent me that I'm going to be reviewing. I've reviewed them all that he sent me now, so again, big shout out to you, Phil, for hooking me up with these and allowing me to try these. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into 1,000,000 Prive. So right in the opening, what sticks out to me the most when I spray it is cinnamon. There is a lot of cinnamon in this fragrance right off the bat. It catches you right away. I get some tonka bean and some tobacco as well coming in supporting the cinnamon, but to my nose, the main player pretty much right off the bat, like I said, is that cinnamon. It's spicy, it's warm, it's sweet, and I do, to my nose, I pick up apple. There's no apple listed as far as I'm aware, at least on Fragrantica, there's no apple note, but for whatever reason, I do pick up some apple, and in the very opening, I do get some of the orange that is listed, but again, I do get apple. It's not listed, so that could just be possibly the cinnamon and the orange or something mixing together. I don't know, I just get like an apple smell, but yeah, that's pretty much what I get right off the top. The more it starts to dry down, the more some of the tobacco and some of the tonka bean starts to come in behind the overpowering cinnamon, and that starts to smooth it out even more. The cinnamon gives it a very spicy touch, but the tonka bean makes it a little bit smooth, a little bit creamy, and the tobacco gives it a masculine edge. Overall, I really like how this smells as it transitions from the beginning to the dry down. I really enjoy the scent. This one would be my favorite out of the 1,000,000 flankers, at least that I've tried so far. Obviously the original, Lucky, and this one I haven't tried, like the cologne, and I think there's a few others, but from what I've tried so far, this one would have to be my favorite. Definitely reminds me a lot of fall when I smell it, the season of fall. It just has that type of scent to it. I think it's probably the cinnamon. I usually attribute that to, like, you know, the smell of fall. This just brings back memories of being outside in the fall when the leaves are changing and falling, and you know, you just have that cold air. You know, that's just what this reminds me of. Definitely a fall smelling fragrance. So this definitely is a very sweet fragrance. Again, this is a 1,000,000 flanker, so you would kind of expect that, but again, I think they did a really good job here. Definitely, again, I prefer it over the original. This just has something about it that is a little bit more unique. Again, I'm not saying it's you know, fully, you know, something that you've never smelled before, but it's at least more unique than 1,000,000 Lucky. It just has something about it that makes it a little bit more special, and it stands out compared to a lot of the other designer fragrances out there, especially newer releases. This, I believe, came out in 2016. I could be wrong, so it is fairly new still. But again, this one just stands out a little bit more compared to some of the newer stuff we've had lately, and I think they did a really nice job with this one. So when can you wear this one? Definitely, like I said, a fall scent and a winter scent. More for the cooler weather here with this one. In my opinion, I would say better for fall, but that's just because of my scent memory and what I think of when I smell this. This could easily be worn in the winter as well, because it is sweet. It will hold up in the cold, and it does perform good too, which I will get to a little bit later. But yeah, definitely a cooler weather scent. Maybe you could pull it off in spring and summer evenings when it's a little bit cooler out, maybe like a cooler summer evening. I could maybe see this working, but generally speaking, definitely for the cold weather. As far as what situations you could wear it in, I would say pretty much any situation for the most part. Again, in the colder weather, it doesn't have that very playful smell like 1,000,000 Lucky does. Again, it has something that is a little bit more unique about it, and something that is less playful and yes, less young smelling, because again, it does have tobacco, which gives it more of a masculine edge. It doesn't smell like something young and, you know, playful and fruity like 1,000,000 Lucky does. Definitely has more of an edge to it, so I could see this being worn for nights out, maybe on a date, maybe during the day you're going out. I would say overall this one is very versatile for, you know, the cooler weather, again, because it has a little bit of an edge to it, to where it's not just fun and casual, but I feel like it could also be dressed up just a little bit. Again, I'm not talking about anything too crazy, but if you're going to a nicer restaurant perhaps, I don't see any issue with wearing this one if it's, you know, fits what you're wearing, because again, definitely has that edge to it to where it could be worn, you know, quite often in the colder weather. So let's go and touch on performance. I get about 8 hours or so of longevity, which is actually pretty good. Projection sits a little bit closer to the skin, nothing that is too awful. It's not a full-on skin scent, but it also isn't one that is pushing off my skin like crazy. So overall projection, I would say in the moderate range. Performance, it's good. Like I said, 8 hours or so consistently. Sometimes it would be a little bit less, sometimes maybe even a little bit more, but just like I said, generally consistently I was getting about 8 hours longevity. So performance definitely is good, and it's gonna be holding up in the colder weather just fine. It punches through the air. Again, the sillage isn't that strong, or the performance isn't that strong, but it does get the job done. This one is one that smells better in the air when someone walks by you or you walk by them, and it's, you know, casted in the air and they can smell it and pick it up. That's when this works better, because again, it is a little bit more harsh. It has a little bit more of a spicy edge, so smelling it up close may not be as good, whereas when it's in the air and wafting past someone, it's going to smell a lot better. So definitely works a lot better in the sillage around people. So talking about compliments with this one, again, this is a Paco Rabanne. They aren't going to release something that isn't going to have any sort of mass appeal, and this one, again, no slouch there in the compliments. This one will get you noticed, and I would say it's maybe a little bit more polarizing than something like 1,000,000 Lucky, just because that one is more like clean and fresh and more basic. This one, again, it has a little bit more of an edge to it. Not everyone likes tobacco, not everyone likes spicy scents. There are a lot of women out there who just like stuff that smells clean and fresh. This one doesn't really smell like that. Again, it has more of a spicy, masculine edge to it. Not everyone's going to like that, but generally speaking, the people who do like this type of scent are really going to like this one, because it does pull that type of scent off very well. And again, like I said, the people who like this are really going to like it. So this would definitely be a solid compliment getter in the fall and winter. Again, the performance is good, so you don't really have to worry about people not being able to smell you. If you do maybe 3 or 4 sprays, you know, when you're going out in the winter, people are going to be able to smell you, and again, it will get you compliments. So talking about price on bottles, you can pick up a 100 ml bottle for around, I would say, $50–$55, just kind of depending on, you know, what the price is. Like on FragranceNet, on eBay, on some other discounters, you're expecting to pay, again, around $50–$55. It's always going to be fluctuating a little bit, but within that range is about what it's going for. Any more expensive than like $55, I wouldn't get it. I would just wait till the price comes back down, or you can find it at, you know, that price range. $50–$55 for 100 ml. That's a solid price. Again, I think this is a solid fragrance. It definitely has a unique touch to it when it comes to newer designer releases, and for the fall and winter, you can't really beat it. So I definitely think that price is fair. At that price, would I pay retail for it? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't pay retail for anything at all. So definitely, you know, hit up the discounters, hit up eBay, hit up the Facebook groups, or whatever you got to do to get it for around, you know, that $50 range for 100 ml. A lot of times you'll see posts where they have like 50 ml bottles at like TJ Maxx and other places like that, and they're usually, I don't know, around $30 or $40 sometimes. I wouldn't buy those. It may seem like it's not a big deal, but then if you do buy it and you end up going online and seeing that you could have got a 100 ml bottle for like $10 more, you're going to end up feeling pretty bad about that purchase. So if you see, you know, any of the 50 ml bottles in TJ Maxx for around that price, just pass on them and go on FragranceNet and get a 100 ml for $10 cheaper. If you find a 100 ml at TJ Maxx for like that $50 range, then obviously that would be a great price. But generally, they are going to have the smaller size bottles marked up a little bit, and it's really just not that good of a deal. So I think that pretty much wraps up my review on 1,000,000 Prive. Again, like I said, I really like this one a lot. I think they did a great job here. I know it seemed like I was probably hating on some of the others that I've reviewed lately. 𝗦𝗢𝗔𝗟 Absolute, 1 Million Lucky. I wasn't hating on them. I said they smelled nice. They just weren't my favorites, and that's the truth. A lot of people would tend to agree with that statement. Generally, for a lot of the new releases, they smell great, but they're nothing special. That's not a bad thing. I don't mean it in a bad way to upset anyone. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm going to keep it honest. I'm not going to, spew a bunch of fake stuff about fragrances, because there's no point. Like, why does it matter? Why would I, give something a good review, a glowing review, and say I absolutely love it when I don't? There's just no point to doing that. I'm going to stay honest. I'm going to tell you, how I really feel about fragrances. That may upset some people. Some people may respect that. That's fine. And there are plenty of reviewers out there who do sugarcoat their thoughts on fragrances that you can go to if you prefer that. And so, like I said, that's my thoughts on 1 Million Prive, giving credit where credit is due. I think they did a great job with this one. It smells good. Would I pick up a bottle potentially? Yes, I would, because again, I think it smells fantastic, especially for the price and for what we've been seeing released lately. So that's going to do it for this review, guys. If you've tried 1 Million Prive, let me know down below in the comments what you think of it. You can also tell me what your favorite 1 Million flanker is. And yeah, so that's going to do it for this review, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. We're getting really close to that 10K mark, so I appreciate all of you guys subscribing. Again, if you haven't subscribed and you watch my videos, go ahead and do it. Trying to hit it by Christmas, and we are definitely on track to hit 10K by Christmas. We're probably going to get over 10K by the time we get to Christmas, because we're getting really close. So again, can't thank you guys enough. I really appreciate you watching and supporting and subscribing and all that. I really do appreciate it. I apologize if it doesn't seem like I say that as much as I should. I really do appreciate it. I just don't usually bring it up, because when I'm doing a fragrance review, I'm talking specifically about that fragrance, and I try to stay on topic, keep them short. So I don't always, stop and, thank you guys for supporting me. But again, I really do appreciate it. And that's going to do it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.